car broke down. May I use your phone? I'd like to call a garage.
Oh, of course. Well, that's just some chemical I spilled.
Oh. Do you have a telephone book?
Oh, I'm sorry. I've been under a strain. Here you are. Make yourself at home.
Thank you.
I could use a drink. I didn't mean to be rude. I've been working on some experiments. Naturally, didn't expect anyone this late.
That's all right. I'm sorry to intrude, but I couldn't see myself walking to town in these high-heeled slippers.
Huh?
Are you one of these?
Well, yes, I'm the junior of the firm, John Armstrong.
I'm Janet Spencer, junior member of the Flat Tire at Midnight Spencers.
I'll get a chaser.
How cozy.
Rita.
Well, he might still have a chance. We better get him to a hospital right away.
Where?
There's an emergency hospital at Caston, a couple of miles from here. Oh, it's not all your fault, miss. I guess my headlights blinded you. Suppose my friend and I take him to the hospital.
Shouldn't I go with you?
Oh, no, you look kind of sick yourself. But you better give us your name and address. They might want to question you.
Janet Spencer. I live in Johnstown. I'm in the phone book.
All right, miss.
Yes?
It's customary to stop even after a slight accident.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll be glad to pay you for any damages. I'll get my purse.
Save your money, lady, for the time being. Say, nice place.
What do you want?
You're in trouble. You could use me, and I could use you, too, as a customer.
What makes you think I'm in trouble?
You ran away from your car and left your lights burning. There's a spot on your fender that looks like blood, and that car isn't yours. Now, if that doesn't add up to trouble, I'm in the wrong business.
Please. I don't know who you are, but don't let's talk about it tonight. I don't know what happened. It was like a nightmare. Janet, is that you?
That your mother?
Housekeeper, you'd better go.
Okay. That's what I meant when I said you could use me.
All right. Come back tomorrow.
Okay.
Janet, who is this person?
Can you get shortwave on that set or just local stations?
Well, of all the impudent young whippersnappers.
I'll be seeing you.
Hello? Is this the Caston Emergency Hospital?
Yes.
Can you tell me the condition of that hit-and-run victim who was brought in this evening?
Hit-and-run victim?
Wasn't there a man brought in tonight who'd been run over by a car?
Oh. Who is this, please?
Never mind. Thank you.
You haven't eaten a bite at breakfast and you look as pale as a ghost. I don't think these late hours are good for you.
All right, Martha, that's enough.
Hello. Yes, just a moment. Janet.
Hello?
Why, this is George over the garage, Miss Spencer. Are you sure you left the car where you said?
Positive. Why?
Well, we can't find it anywhere. I've had a man down there looking all over for it.
Well, it couldn't have disappeared into thin air. Keep looking for it and let me know.
Well, Damus, they can lose anything.
Yes?
Steve Morgan to see you, Mr. Priestley.
What does he want?
I'll tell you myself. You could use me. I could use you, too, as a customer.
What are you talking about? And get off my desk.
Dawn was insured by one of your companies, wasn't he?
Well, what about it?
Who was Dawn's beneficiary?
None of your business.
All right, it'll be in the newspapers anyway.
Well, what do you want to know for?
I was only playing a hunch. Oh, I don't suppose you noticed this little item down here at the bottom of the page. Mrs. Armstrong reported her car stolen last night. The cops picked it up.
Meaning what?
Just a little too much coincidence, don't you think, Sam? Dawn was bumped off by a hit-and-run driver. The car of his partner's wife was reported stolen from the neighborhood.
I see what you mean. Well, Dawn and Armstrong had business risk insurance on each other. $50,000 apiece.
An accidental death doubles it. That means Armstrong gets $100,000.
Well, that's right. But I still don't see why it's any of your business. If I want any private investigating done, I've got my own man.
All right, all right. I was only trying to earn an honest buck and do you a favor. Well, I almost didn't recognize you without all that hardware in your head, beautiful.
What do you want?
I think Miss Spencer would like to see me. Now, there's a woman that's crazy about me.
Don't mind Martha. She gets a little too protective at times. Look at this.
It's a nice Valentine, bleeding hearts and everything. You know, I told you could use me.
Don't you think I'd better go to the police? This is serious.
No, I don't think we'll bother the police about this yet.
Maybe the police will bother me.
Why?
Last night I had a plain, ordinary, everyday blowout. Now I'm involved in a stolen car, divorce action, blackmail, and heaven only knows what else.
Well, maybe you'd better tell me about that blowout. While I'm having that cup of coffee you haven't offered me yet. Hi, Sarge. I want to look at the Armstrong car.
Well, I don't know, Steve.
Oh, now I'm on the case. Mrs. Armstrong hired me.
Oh. Well, I guess Lieutenant Jones won't mind.
Thanks.
Hello, Lieutenant. Steve Morgan's looking over the Armstrong car.
Well, hello, Lieutenant.
These private eyes are always looking for glory. Don't let him tell you he found the car. A couple of the department boys picked it up last night.
The lieutenant's right, Mrs. Armstrong. The prowl car found it.
Well, it's all yours, Mrs. Armstrong. You can drive it out any time you want. Look, take my advice. Don't give him a cent. He didn't do anything to earn it. Well, I'll leave you here. I'm going back to the office.
You seem to be playing a game. Why?
Because you could use me. And I sure could use you as a customer.
You must be a mind reader.
No, I just happen to read the police blotter.
Suppose I hire you right now.
That's a deal.
Well, Mr. Morgan,
Steve is easier.
My husband and I are separated. Last night, I got a call saying I'd find my husband in an interesting situation at the plant. So I rushed down with a photographer and found him drinking with a girl.
Any pictures?
Only this.
Any idea who the girl is?
Unfortunately, not the slightest.
This your husband? And all you want me to do is find out who his girlfriend happens to be.
That's all.
Well, that ought to be a breeze. I never forget a face. Oh, by the way, you didn't happen to show this little number to the police.
No, but I described the girl as best I could.
Okay, you'll hear from me.
Well?
Well, I'm working my way through college, and
No, thank you. Oh, just somebody selling magazines. I can't say I'm crazy about this brush-off you've been giving me lately.
Lola, it's just that I have so many things to do. Ralph's death has left me in kind of a jam.
A jam, he says. $100,000 isn't hard to take.
No. No, it isn't. As soon as things quiet down a little, I'm going to sell out. Then we can go away.
Well, this is what I've been waiting for.
call you a little later.
How do you do, sir? I'm working my way through cops.
Beat it. We don't want any. A private eye. I can smell him a block away.
I don't like it. I better call Armstrong and warn him.
Steve Morgan talking. Oh, hello, Mrs. Armstrong. Well, sure. Rita? Oh, you bet I'd like to see you. You're coming right up? Room 411. It's the one with the doorknob. Bye. What are you doing here? I told you to stay home. Every cop in town's looking for you.
I got another Valentine. He wants to know if the money's ready.
Well, I can't talk to you about it now. Rita Armstrong's on her way up here.
Rita Armstrong? I'd better get out.
No, you'll meet her in the hall. Wait a minute. She only saw you once, and that was in a hurry, and you were wearing evening clothes. Come on, we'll have to take a chance on it.
On what?
You're my secretary. Now change your hairdo.
But I don't...
Here. Now hurry up and get that coat off. Oh, that looks fine. Now make like a stenographer. Act like you're earning $20 a week. Here, put those on. Now go ahead. Hurry up, hurry up.
Don't...
Now, what are you doing?
I feel like I've got Venetian blinds on my eyes. Where am I?
Take a letter, Miss Bottle-Thrustle.
Huh?
No, here. I mean, write it. Acme Realty Company. Gentlemen, in regards to... Oh, hello, Rita.
Hello. How cozy.
Oh, well, it's nothing, really. Just a 20-room mansion and a swimming pool, but I call it home.
Well, since you wouldn't come to see me, I came to see you.
Well, as a matter of fact, I had planned on coming over to see you with this report. Here are some facts on your husband. The young lady he's interested in is Lola Carson. I have her address right here.
Lola Carson. Is she the one who was with the night my car was stolen?
No, that's another girl. I haven't been able to catch up to her yet.
My husband does get around, doesn't he?
Well...
Anything else?
Yes, he filed his insurance claim on his partner. I tailed him to a broker's office. I think he's trying to sell the firm. In fact, I got the impression he was going to skip out. But he won't get far. Just leave it to me.
I'm sure I can. You certainly have the strangest secretary.
Oh, the poor girl. She's a little off. Goodbye, Rita. I'll call you soon.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
So I'm a little off, am I? Try wearing these yourself.
Oh, now, look. Oh, look, I was only trying to bail us out of a tight spot. Now, what about your Valentine?
Well, he said my car was eating up garage rent. He wants the money right now.
What kind of a car have you got?
1941 blue convertible coupe, license 4N662.
All right, get ready and I'll take you home. Now, remember what I told you. Stay in the house. If you need excitement, play Parcheesi with Miss America of 1899.
All right, if I have to.
I'll be seeing you.
Bye.
You better hurry up before the neighbors hear the racket. No, so he can't get out.
He got away. Smashed through the doors.
Tell Miss Spencer that I'd like...
I know.
Why don't you come in?
I've got something to show you. Come here. Look over there.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, they even fixed the tire. I had to leave your motor running. Put it in your garage and call your mechanic. He'll know what to do about it. I'll be back in a little while. I've got to get my car.
Let me drive you.
I told you to stay under wraps. I'll grab a cab. Bye now.
Wait a minute, college boy. You don't want to go for a ride all alone, do you? There's room for 3 in that front seat.
Well, I hadn't figured on company, but as long as you insist.
Suppose you drive, Frank. I'll keep an eye on our pal over here. Don't be a sap. Come on, let's get out of here.
You should have seen the look on his face when I pushed him into the gutter. Oh, you can forget about that blackmail now, and I think they'll forget about it, too.
Hello?
Is this Miss Spencer?
Yes.
Okay, so you got your car back. I can still tip off the cops that you committed murder. Just for being so smart, I'm raising the ante to $35,000. Do you hear that, Detective Morgan? You'll hear from Mr. Valentin again.
So I can forget all about the blackmail. Nice deduction, Mr. Morgan.
That voice, it's sure familiar. I've heard it someplace before. Can't be those muscle men. That big, greasy-looking fellow sounded like a truck driver. The other one made noises like a clam. You know what I can't figure out is where Armstrong fits into all this. There's some fancy double-crossing going on, and I'm getting awfully curious. Oh, give Dreamboat my love. She'll be happy to know I'm leaving. Hello, Doc.
Hello, Morgan. What's on your mind?
Remember the body of Ralph Doan?
Yes, very well. I performed the autopsy myself.
How badly was he injured by that car?
He was struck around the body. Ribs and chest were crushed. Also, there were some very bad head wounds.
But the car didn't strike him on the head,
No, I'd say the car hurled the body into a sharp rock around the scene of the accident. That's probably how he got his head wounds.
Then if he got the head wounds after the car struck him, he couldn't very well have bled on a fender, could he?
Not very well.
This is dried blood from the bumper of Mrs. Armstrong's car. I had it analyzed.
Victim was already bleeding from head wounds when struck by the car.
That's right, Doc. I think Doane was dead and pushed in front of that car. I think it's all a frame-up.
You'd better tell this to Lieutenant Jones. I'll phone him you're coming.
All right, but he won't like it.
Look, the coroner just called me. What are you trying to stir up?
I'm not trying to stir up anything. I was merely checking on some information.
What business is it of yours? Your job is tailing playful husbands and bill dodgers. What do you want to go messing around with murder for?
Oh, so you admit it's murder?
I don't admit anything. But you don't think the police department's asleep, do you? We know that Doane was dead before I hit him, but we still don't know what business it is of yours.
Well, now, didn't Sam Priestley tell you? I'm investigating for the insurance company.
Look, if Sam Priestley thinks it's murder, tell him it's our business. And we'll let him know all about it when we're finished with our job. And you remember what I told you. Stay in your own backyard, or I'll get your license. Now beat it. Give me Sam Priestley at the Miller Building.
Hello.
Sam, this is Jones.
Oh, yes, Lieutenant.
Say, you got Steve Morgan on the Doane case?
I have not. As a matter of fact, I told him I didn't want any part of him or his investigations.
That's all I want to know. Thanks, Sam. Thanks.
Do you think this is a good idea, taking me to the plant?
Oh, sure. I've kept you cooped up long enough. Anyway, you're good company. Oh, incidentally, you didn't kill Doane. He was dead and pushed into the car.
What?
I thought you'd like to know.
Like to know? Honestly, the way you spring things on me. At least I'm out of the murder department. Now all I have hanging over me is a stolen car, divorce, and blackmail. Don't you think I should go to the police now and have myself completely cleared?
No, the cops still regard you as a suspect. If you went to him, it might complicate things. Just leave everything up to Uncle Steve.
Okay, Unc. It's awfully quiet around here.
Well, what were you expecting, a shivaree?
Do you want me to go in with you? I hope not.
No, you wait here. I'll be right back.
bump your head?
No, but somebody else sure did.
What are you doing here? You'll need a couple of stitches for that. I asked you, what are you doing here?
Oh, now, don't you know, Lieutenant? As an investigator for one of Priestley's insurance company, well, I
Now,
can't...
don't give me that one again. I talked to Sam Priestley today. Come on, you better get over to the emergency hospital. Come on, we gotta get you to a doctor.
I'll have to fill out a report on this. Where did the accident happen?
Down the road at the Doan and Armstrong plant.
Too bad about Doan getting killed. Caught up with the killer yet?
No, we haven't got the hit-and-run driver yet.
These hit-and-run drivers. Wait a minute. The night Mr. Doan was killed, a call came in asking if a hit-and-run victim were brought in here.
Do you know who it was?
No, but it was a woman. A young woman, I'd say, judging by her voice. She sounded very excited, but didn't give any name.
That was the night of the 12th, wasn't it?
That's right.
Give me the police headquarters at Johnstown. Much obliged, Doc. I think you put me on the trail of the girl we've been looking for. You're looking pretty pale, son. You better get home and get to bed as soon as you can. This is Jones of the homicide detail. Will you check a long-distance call to Caston Emergency Hospital on the night of the 12th? Call me back here. Yeah, this is Jones. What was the phone? The name Spencer? Avon Street? Johnstown? Okay, I'll pick her up myself. Come on, I'll drop you off on my way to pick up the Spencer girl. Much obliged, Doc. You know, Steve, if you didn't get a wallop on the head, maybe I wouldn't have got a clue on that Spencer girl. Where do you want me to drop you?
Drop me in front of my office, will you?
You don't mean to say you sleep there, too?
Certainly.
Oh, say, does this mean anything to you?
No.
I found that on your chest instead of a lily. You know, Steve, there may be some angle to this case that I missed. Did you happen to stumble across something? Maybe I'll let you keep your license after all. What is it?
Well, you know about the blood on the Armstrong car.
Yeah.
I have your lab analyze this. Some blood-stained fuzz I scraped from the carpet in the Doan and Armstrong office.
We had one of our experts go over every square inch of that plant. You should know you can't get ahead of the cops. Well, we gotta give you credit for trying. Look, if I let you keep your license, well, you stick to your own racket after this.
Yeah, I know. Divorces and collections. Hello, Glamour Girl. This is Steve. Miss Spencer in?
No, and I don't know where she's gone. Say, don't you know where she is? She left with you.
Well, if you hear from her, in touch with me right away. It's important.
Very well. Goodbye.
Bye. Janet, boy, am I glad to see you. Hey, the way you run away with people's cars.
It's a good thing for both of us I did run away. I saw the police car just in time.
Yeah, well, never mind that now. Get on the phone and talk to your housekeeper. If the police come, you left town, understand?
Bump your head?
No, I was bobbing for apples.
Hello, Martha. I'm perfectly all right. You haven't seen me. I'm visiting Mother in the East. Understand?
No, I don't understand.
I'm visiting Mother in the East.
Oh, all right. Bye. Yes?
I'm Lieutenant Jones of Police Headquarters. I'd like to speak to Miss Spencer, please.
She's back east, visiting her mother.
When did she leave town?
About 2 weeks ago.
About 2 weeks ago, huh? Thanks a lot.
I'm glad you had sense enough to follow me. Makes up for mine like a brains.
What's the matter? Is my nose shiny?
No, Janet, you're beautiful. You're also educated and rich. Probably design your own hats. Me, I'm ignorant, poor, and got a face only a mother could love. But you know, I'm sitting here right now being awful glad the police didn't catch up with you.
Why, Steve, I think that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
The cops know you phoned the hospital that night.
I'd better get out of here.
That's right, but before you go, I want to show you something I worked out. This is my pride and joy. I got it as a fee from a musician. I'm talking to the mic. Say, now is the time for all good men to come to the aid of the party, or something like that.
Now's the time for all good men to come to the aid of their party, or something like that.
Now listen, I'll play it back at normal speed.
Now's the time for all good men to come to the aid of their party, or something like that.
Now listen, I'll slow it down.
Now's the time for all good men to come to the aid of their party, or something like that.
Sounds like a man, doesn't it?
Yes, but I still don't see what you're trying to prove.
I was just trying to figure out how a woman could sound like Mr. Valentine. I think I worked it out.
Oh, but what woman do you suspect?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe Lola Carson. Now, you better get out of here. Take my car and register at an out-of-town hotel under a fake name. Then call me and let me know where you are. But remember, I want my car back.
I'll phone you in the morning.
I'll be waiting. Hey, wait a minute. Come here. That's for luck.
I'll need it. Goodbye.
Bye. What's the matter?
I forgot something. You might need some luck.
Hello? Oh, hello, Janet. Where? The Carlton Hotel. What's the room number? 438. Okay, you stay put. I'll come out and get my car when I need it. Yeah, bye. Hello? Steve Morgan talking.
This is Priestley. I guess I owe you an apology. There is something funny going on. John Armstrong has just been murdered. And they've arrested his wife.
They what? Well, she's my client. Thanks.
Ah, so it's you again, huh?
And I'm glad to see you too, Lieutenant. Why are you holding Rita Armstrong?
None of your business.
She's my client.
Oh, so she's your client too, huh? I'll bet she fired you when we found her car. Give me the county jail. Miss Jones, a homicide. Say, will you ask Rita Armstrong if she's the client of a private detective by the name of Steve Morgan? I'll wait. When will you private eyes learn to keep your nose out of business that don't concern you? How many times must I tell you not to get mixed up in police business? Now, look, if I have to mention this to you again, why, I'll... Yeah? Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. Her husband was found murdered in his room. He was getting ready to duck out. His bags were packed and he had a plane reservation for one.
Did he have the insurance money on him?
No, but we found out that he cashed the check this morning. Anything else?
Yeah, what about the murder weapon?
.32 caliber. We figured he was killed by someone who must have known him pretty well, because the gun was fired at close range.
Well, what's that got to do with his wife?
His wife had plenty of motive, didn't she? First, he's running out on a divorce. Second, he's running away with the insurance money. And don't forget this, it was her car that bumped off his partner in the first place.
And don't forget, her car was stolen. Remember?
Yes, but how do we know that's true? She could have driven the car herself, abandoned it, then reported it as stolen.
Why?
To get the insurance money for her husband. And when she found out that her husband was going to run off with the insurance money alone, she bumped him off.
I hope you don't mind if I point out a couple of holes big enough to drive a truck through. One, if Mrs. Armstrong was fighting with her husband, why would she do him the favor of running down his partner? Two, she had a photographer with her that night as a witness. I don't suppose you thought to question him.
Divorce photographers? You can bribe any one of them. We're holding Mrs. Armstrong here.
Okay, but you can't stop me from investigating this murder. I don't want to hear any more cracks about Bill Dodgers and playful husbands. Thanks. You gone completely crazy? How'd you get in here anyway?
With a hairpin.
I told you to stay out of town.
Listen, twice you've talked me out of going to the police. But if somebody else gets in trouble because of me, I think I ought to give myself up.
Who's in trouble?
They've arrested Mrs. Armstrong, and it's all my fault.
Why?
The papers say they're holding her as the hit-and-run driver who killed Doan.
They're holding her for the murder of her husband. She didn't do that either. Now be a good girl and keep quiet.
Oh. Where are we going?
We?
Yes.
Oh, all right. To the Armstrong home.
Get me the police department. Police department? This is the John Armstrong residence. There's going to be a murder here. Hurry! Don't just sit there. He's getting away.
Well, he got away, and I didn't even get a good look at him.
You know, sometimes I think you are in the wrong business.
Well, it's a cinch they're still looking for the money. Otherwise, they wouldn't have blown Armstrong's safe.
I called the police. I thought you were being killed.
Oh, fine, fine. Come on, let's get out of here.
Janet, this was under the door.
Another Valentine. Spencer, come to the Doan and Armstrong plant tonight with $35,000 in old bills. Don't bring anybody with you or you'll regret it. Mr. Valentine.
You can't go down there alone, Valentine or no Valentine.
She's got to. Come on, we'll fix some old bills. Bring your scissors, Martha.
Good evening. Get walking. Come on.
Did you bring the money?
Yes. Are you Mr. Valentine?
Don't worry about him. He sent us. trying to pull?
Never mind her. We've got the 100 grand. Let's get out.
Are you crazy? We've got to get her now. She can identify us.
Well, you scared me, too. Look, see those two bottles on the end of the rack there?
Yes.
Well, smash them up against the office door, then come back to the window and hold a handkerchief over your face. I'm going around the front way.
But I don't understand.
Oh, now go ahead. Go ahead and do as I say.
Bump your head. Don't worry. We got the little lady that was responsible for it all.
She had nothing to do with it.
Oh, not her. I mean her. I found the insurance money on her.
Oh.
We had to take his playmate away in an ambulance. I guess I'll have to return this to Sam Priestley.
Oh, look, Lieutenant, I wonder if you'd let me deliver that to Priestley in person. I want to prove a point.
Okay, but with a police escort.
Well, naturally. Oh, I want to make one stop on the way.
All right. Take her in, boys.
He's in there, all right. He's just playing possum.
Just a minute. Here, hold on. That's police business. We know how to open doors, too.
Bump your head. I want you to meet Mr. Valentine.
I take my hat off to you, Steve. That Sam Priestley sure had me fooled.
Me too, for a while. But he was too anxious to keep me out of the case, and he paid off that insurance money too quickly.
That's right. It usually takes months, especially when there's any suspicion as to how the insured was killed. You know something? You'll find very few crooks among those insurance guys.
Yeah, that's right. But I think Lola had Priestley over a barrel and was using Armstrong as a patsy. Between them, they rigged up his frame-up and blackmail deal.
Well, whose team was she on? Priestley's or Armstrong's?
Well, my guess is that Lola had figured on running away with Armstrong, leaving Priestley to hold the bag. But when she found out Armstrong was ducking out alone, boom, she killed him.
It's nice work, Steve. Say, you can have a job in my detail anytime you want.
Well, thanks. But you know, I rather enjoy chasing Bill Dodgers and playful husbands.
Hey, look, I'll never mention that again. Oh, by the way, we released Mrs. Armstrong.
Good.
She left this for you.
Hey, look at that.
Now, far be it from me to tell you how to spend your money, but that could furnish a very fine honeymoon.
Well, you heard what the man said. A honeymoon?
Uh-huh. You know, I think you could use me, and I could use you, too. As a husband.